Okay, we're in section 32 now, and against the Sage stuff. If you want, you click on this link over here, use the CoCalc version of Sage. I'm using my own computer to do it. I'm not using the web-based version. So let me just type it in. And I'm just going to type in reset. We've always been doing that. That gives me a clean slate. I'm going to do X and Y are variables. Right? Why do I do that? I'm going to be using these two variables in the problem set that follows. Okay. Now over here, again, a lot of people say, why do you do this? I personally would not use Sage for this over here because it's just too easy to do by hand. Most of the problems we have are actually easier to do by hand than it is to code it. But why do we code then? Well, problems later on are going to get so difficult, you're going to need to code the problem. You will not be able to do them by hand. But I'm going to do that. And what it says, it solves for Y. And I noticed that a lot of students, what they do when they give an equation of a line in this form, they spend a lot of time solving for Y. There's nothing wrong with that. A machine can do it too, though. All right, this one over here. Back to my Sage, type it in. And that's solve for Y. What do you mean by that? It says Y equals something. By the way, I can do that again and solve for X instead. And watch what happens. It just solved it for X. You should be aware of that you can solve for either X or Y. Right now, why does someone say we solve for Y a lot? Well, that's just simply because we say Y is a function of X. All right, let's put the last line in. Do that. I'm going to Wolfram Alpha. And I'm going to just get rid of this stuff over here. And I get rid of this. I'm going to speak to it. Solve this for X. It's much more natural language for me. What does it do? It solves, it says X equals. That's great. Let's say I said solve for Y. And yes, it solves for Y. I think Wolfram Alpha is actually a nicer software package. It's commercial and it costs money. There's no doubt about it. All right. If I just simply do this, though, I don't put any words in, I say something, it's got to start to understand what they think I want. All right. So if I did this over here, and I gotta say, what would they possibly think a student would type that in for? Possibly to get a graph. It does give that. Possibly to solve for Y, because it's a typical question. It really is a very typical question, right? Very typical question to solve for Y. And you might see other things down over here. I wouldn't worry about that so much. I'd worry about, are you able to type into a search box something that you're interested in? And when searching for things, you might find things that you're not interested in. All right. The bottom line is, though, you have to update your search box to represent really what you're looking for. All right. So I'm going to say that's done. There's not much else to say about that. And just basically solving for a given letter. All right. Thank you.